What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Weigh-In Podcast. Today, I am joined by my co-host, Sugar Ray. How are you doing today?
Doing all right, thank you, man. Just resting up from another long night of boxing. It takes the energy out of you. It's not easy, but we move.
I hear that, man. I'm feeling the same. But like you said, we had a big night yesterday, British and over in America. But I think it's best to start off at home. Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yarde 2. I think considering the first fight, how it went, and in this fight, how we saw Yarde win, 4th round, did you expect him to come out as aggressive as he did?
I expected him to come out aggressive. I couldn't exactly read Lyndon Arthur's game plan because I don't know whether Lyndon Arthur went in there thinking, let me lean on him, go in there, get his muscles tired, and then the later rounds start beating on him. But he tried to make it like very rough, a lot of inside fighting during the first few rounds. And I was just like, it's very different from Lyndon, but, I'm not Pat Barrett's a well-experienced coach, so I just think to myself, do you know what? I'm not going to doubt what they're planning to do. But at the same time, I was a bit confused as to why is he looking to have that type of fight with Yarde. Maybe he just thought he wanted to prove a point and try to take it to Yarde, but ultimately it backfired.
Now, talking about Anthony Yarde, obviously lost the first fight. This fight, in terms of, I guess, an impressive rating scale, how impressive were you with him executing the game plan he was and actually finishing the fight as early as well? Because myself, I thought this will go a bit later on. I sat down, I was ready. I'd watched the full card through. I was like, give me a solid 8 to 10 rounds. And it ended in 4. But it looked like, if I'm honest, and I think Yarde even touched on it, he hurt him in the first. And you could kind of smell blood. And it was a case of, I'm going to pick it apart and I will get him. Did you kind of get that sense as well?
I might need to rewatch it to see at what point did he feel like he hurt him. But obviously, if you picked up, then I'm sure that probably is something that Anthony Yarde picked up as well. I just saw it more as he was patient. And obviously, this whole stigma of empty the tank has been on Anthony Yarde ever since the Kovalev fight. So I feel like he seemed better equipped to, manage his energy levels. Like, go in there, smell blood, but you don't always need to go for the finish straight away. Sometimes it's not instant food, it's not microwave food. Sometimes you got to slow cook it. And I feel like, he was just like, he slow cooked it a bit. He waited a few rounds. And then I think 4th round, it was kind of like, oh, no, I've got him hurt. And then he just kept on laying in with the punches. And it dropped Lyndon Arthur.
With him dropping him in the 4th, being that it was the first knockdown, did you feel like the stoppage was a little too premature?
I was a bit confused because I felt like Lyndon Arthur, he done the smart thing. He used the whole 10 count. He didn't try to get up straight away. And from the looks of it, he made the count. Now, however, the ref might have seen something in Lyndon's eyes and just said, you know what? Nah, we're not carrying this on. And Lyndon's demeanor, I don't know whether he might have been out on his feet and we just couldn't tell, because that happens a lot with fighters where it's like their muscle memory will help them to do things that their mind can't fathom at the time. Because I've seen so many times in interviews when guys just like, so and so happened during the round, but at that moment they're like, I don't remember it. I don't remember it happening. All I remember is just waking up again at this part of a later fight, and they're like, okay, I'm still in it. So I don't know whether it's a case of Lyndon Arthur's body was reacting the way it needed to react, but maybe the ref could see in his eyes that it was enough. And it's a shame because I felt like Lyndon Arthur didn't give the best of himself, but that's the game. You get one chance, and if you don't take it, Yarde took it.
I think Yarde's future, I guess, is a little bit more set, which we'll touch on soon. But I guess sticking on with Lyndon Arthur, then where does he go from here? Considering it is 1-1 technically, but you can see Yarde is going towards the title picture. Where do you see Arthur going from here?
It depends. The UK light heavyweight scene for the winners is looking very promising. Got a good batch of fighters at the moment, which we'll touch upon in a bit. Whereas with the feet, obviously it's like he's going to look to build himself up again. I'm sure with Yard now going for the world title shot, I believe for the WBA title, WBO to face to face the winner of Joe Smith and Callum Johnson. I'm sure that Yard might drop the cruiserweight, sorry, the Commonwealth title that he won yesterday off of Lyndon. So maybe Lyndon goes down that route of trying to win the Commonwealth back and build up his name, get a few wins under your belt. He might even go for the British light heavyweight title, because you saw Dan Azeez in his last fight with Boxer. He was telling people like, listen, with this like batch of excellent UK fighters we should just have a round robin. If people commit to it, people will watch it, and I feel like it's a very good idea. But I think it also depends on how the chips falls. If Callum Johnson wins his world title shot against Joe Smith, he might then go on to face Yard, and then that's going to be a big fight, whether it will be pay-per-view or not. But I'm sure that, I know in Frank Warren's big plan, he's going to bring that to the UK. So how Lyndon Arthur falls into all of that, I'm not too sure. But I'm sure with a few more wins, he will look to just get his reputation up there. So yeah, he's got a lot of work to do.
And just quickly on Yard, the light heavyweight Steve type picture, I think Frank Warren kind of confirmed it. He's talking with Bob Arum. That seems to be the next logical thing. He touched on his Kovalev fight. So he's already had a world title opportunity. How much do you think he can, I guess, learn from that fight, his natural progression into this potential fight in 2022? And if and when it does happen, do you see him going in as possibly the favorite or not against either opposition?
I think here's the thing: it just depends on how dominant the other fighter looks. With Callum Johnson, you've got an experienced guy who I saw on BT Boxing's channel on YouTube that he even done an interview where he was just on a thing of, this is my last shot. He knows he's an older guy. He hasn't got, like, the body can only take so much at this point. And this is the point where it's just like, it's do or die. And I feel with Callum Johnson dialed in, he's a very good fighter. And him against Joe Smith is very good because, no disrespect to Joe Smith, people see the light heavyweight rankings as Beterbiev or Beterbiev. I need the Russian community to please contact us and tell us the correct pronunciation. But I'll say for now, Beterbiev as number one. They see Bivol as number two. And then Joe Smith, they see as number three in regards to the light heavyweight champion. So I think this is a very good chance for one of the UK fighters to get that belt off of Joe Smith and to avoid the boogeyman that is Beterbiev. I know Bivol's also fighting this month, which is going under the radar. But it's a good time for the light heavyweights. And if we can bring a light heavyweight championship back to the UK before Beterbiev says he wants to fight everyone else. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Yard has shown maturity. They added obviously James Cook to their camp. He's obviously done some good changes to them, so it'll be interesting. So listen, man, they mocked him, but Lions in the camp, they're going to be shouting again.
And with that, we also want to hear you guys' opinion. As always, you know what to do. If you're enjoying the content, share the content. Like, share, subscribe on our YouTube page. We want to hear all of your thoughts. Follow us on all our socials. The Instagram is _the Wayne _. The Twitter page is the same _the Wayne _. Yeah, hit us up. We want to know all of your opinions of Yard and Arthur too. Now, I'm going to give the floor to you because you did say you want to touch on something, and that's the light heavyweight scene in general. So the floor is yours, Ray. Give us your take on the light heavyweight scene right now.
I think what Dan Azeez proposed was a very good idea in regards to the UK light heavyweight scene having a round robin. So obviously he is a newly crowned British light heavyweight champion. You got Yarde that's got a title shot in the wing. You got Callum Johnson that's actually fighting for the world title. You got Craig Richards that came off a spirited battle with Bivol, and then now he's also back in the wing column. He's looking good. I think he says he wants to go for the either European light heavyweight title or go for one of the regular belts of the boards of WBA or WBO. So I mean, it's looking good. Obviously, we've got Buatsi in the wing as well. Even though off of a loss, Lyndon Arthur can still build up his resume. And I just feel like that's 6 excellent fighters I mentioned there. You could throw in the wild card of Shaq and Pitters as well. So I think right now it'll be interesting to see where the cards fall. Like I said, I think a lot of the prestige that can come to the UK light heavyweight scene depends on how Callum Johnson does against Joe Smith. Because if Joe Smith does win, he might keep that title in the US. I know there was the rumors of Danny Jacobs fighting him at light heavyweight. So Callum Johnson, no pressure, but a bit of pressure. Get that belt off of Joe Smith, bring it back to the UK, and let's make UK light heavyweights great again.
So I was just going to touch on this idea, what you said about light heavyweights in UK. How would you promote this then? Because to a casual, and look at the light heavyweight scene, and they may not necessarily gravitate towards it as they would do. Like obviously the heavyweights are the heavyweights like we've said. So in terms of the promotion side of things, how would you push it to be like, this is something you guys should definitely tune into?
I think it's just a case of, remember a decade ago, there was the Super 6 tournament, and obviously you had the greats at super middleweight of like Andre Ward, Carl Frock, Mikhail Kesler and such. And I feel like that would be a good way to do it. Obviously, it would require a lot of cross promotions, which I don't know how that would go. But even if it's a case of having like unofficial brackets of the light heavyweights, unofficial tournament, I think that would be a good way to do it.
Right. With that, we are going to wrap up today's episode. Again, appreciate you always for coming on. This has been another episode of the Wayne Podcast. As always, you know what to do. We've shown it before, but we'll show it again. If you enjoy the content, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and just enjoy the barbershop talk. Follow us on all our socials. Got the Instagram page _the_way_in_. Same with the Twitter handle _the_way_in_. And until next time, Ray, appreciate you for coming on, and see you soon.
Take care until the next.